Dear colleagues, my name is Lukáš Koblása and I am a doctoral student at the Department of Music, Faculty of Education at the University of Hradec Králové in the Czech Republic. I would like to introduce you the education system for organ playing in Czech and the Croatian music education. Although both countries are in different parts of Europe, their musical culture is very much connected. The work of Croatian and Benedictine monks in Prague's Emmaus Monastery since the 14th century is among the oldest musical connections between the countries. In the course of the following century, and especially after 1800, many musicians migrated to the former Yugoslavia due to a large number of Czech graduates of conservatories and organ schools. The Balkan countries offered them many opportunities for musical employment as teachers, organists, performing artists, and more. The most important Croatian composers who have Czech roots or have studied at Czech music schools include Vatroslav Lisinski, Ivan Zajc, Franjo Pokorny, and others. In addition, there are more than 400 Czech musicians who work in Croatia. For example, Jan Vlašimský, Fran Hotka, Václav Huml, Jan Křtitel Vanhal, and others. There is no relevant data in Czech literature devoted to Croatian organ culture. This issue is briefly mentioned by Ferdinand Klinda in his book Organ in the Culture of Two Millennia, who, apart from extremely brief historiographical data, also mentions that original organ production pieces are quite scarce. This research, and subsequently the entire dissertation, aims to use and promote the issue of Croatian organ culture not only in the Czech Republic, but also in the other Central European countries. In preparation of a questionnaire aimed at teachers, it was very important to obtain as much data as possible regarding not only the expertise of the teacher, but also other elements important for a comparison of the education system. This is why the following key questions were established in the research. What does the professional education system in both countries look like? In what kind of spaces are lessons held, and what types of instruments, pipe or digital, are used? Are teachers familiar with organ pieces of the compared country, and do they use them in the teaching? The semi-structured questionnaire survey was conducted during the 2022-2023 academic year, and it included all levels of professional organ teaching: elementary music education, secondary education or conservatories, music academies or universities. The Czech Republic has a total of 518 elementary art schools, 20 conservatories, 2 music academies, 5 universities with pedagogical and artistic focus. 132 of these music schools, 10 conservatories, 2 academies, and 1 university offer organ lessons. Thanks to a thoroughly prepared directory and obtained contact details for all professors in the Czech Republic, 153 respondents were addressed and 83 relevant answers were recorded, with 49 men and 34 women. The response rate of the questionnaire was 54%. In Croatia, there are 104 music schools and 5 academies. Professional organ is taught as a major at 13 music schools and 1 academy. The contact directory was thoroughly prepared in the same way as that of Czech schools. 22 professors were contacted and 9 responses were received, 5 male and 4 female. The questionnaire response rate was 41%. Both countries have a unique elementary music education system from the early age of pupils. Elementary music education is provided in schools sponsored by the Ministry of Education, just like other elementary or secondary school. The teachers are therefore paid by the state. Parents only pay a fee for the operation of the school. This is a big advantage over other countries that do not have this system. Virtually any student who is interested in music and meets certain musical criteria can access this education. It also provides long-term preparation for conservatories and music academies for very gifted and talented students. If students want to learn a musical instrument in other countries, as well as outside Europe, parents must look for private musical education, which is several times more expensive than this system supported by the state. The curriculum of both school systems includes education of pupils aged 5 to 7. This is so-called preparatory music education. This education is provided in group lessons once a week per 45 minutes. In the Czech Republic, pupils can study in 2 cycles. First cycle 7 years and the second cycle 4 years. One-to-one lessons are provided once a week, and the director may increase the time allocated to very talented pupils to 2 lessons a week. In Croatia, our schools provide 6 years of education. From 1st to 3rd grades have 30 minutes lessons twice a week, and from 4th to 6th grades have 45-minute lessons twice a week. It should be noted that there are 9 years of compulsory schooling in the Czech Republic, whereas there are only 8 years in Croatia. Czech conservatories provide 45-minute one-to-one lesson twice a week or 90-minute lesson once a week. After 6 years of study, students graduate with an absolutory and receive an associate degree, enabling them to teach during their teaching qualification at the art school. In contrast, in Croatia, education continues at the art school, which has the same curriculum as the conservatory. The difference is in the student's application after he completes his previous education. A student can study at any secondary school and study an instrument at a music school as a hobby, or he can study his major at a music school, which requires him to continue his studies at a music academy. Graduates of Croatian conservatories do not receive a degree and are not even qualified for teaching or professional performance. The time allocated to the main field and music academies and universities is 90 minutes per week. In the Czech Republic, the education is divided into a 3-year bachelor's degree program, followed by a 2-year master's degree program. In contrast, Croatia only has a 5-year master's degree program. An interesting fact is that the Academy of Music in Zagreb only accepts 2 organ students per year by decision of the rector. There is no such limitation at any university or academy in the Czech Republic. After the initial part of the questionnaire, when the respondents were introduced to the matter and then basic data was obtained about them, it was necessary to determine their educational attainment, Table 1 and Table 2. The most common educational attainment among Czech teachers was a master's degree, followed by a conservatory education, bachelor's degree, doctorate, and other, where they list the following education: Konzertexamen A, Universität der Künste, Hochschule für Musik, Kirchenmusik B. The most commonly listed titles of Croatian teachers were master, doctor, and other, where current education at the Brussels Academy was indicated. The teachers were then asked about the institution where they teach. As multiple answers could be marked for this question, the school total is greater than the number of respondents. The most frequent answer by Czech teachers in Table 3 was EZUŠ, Základní umělecká škola, it's our elementary music school, followed by a conservatory, other, and an academy or university. In the open answer, the teachers answered, I no longer teach, elementary school, professional college, secondary school, teacher training school, or gymnasium. In Table 4, in Croatia was the most frequent answer, Glazbena škola, it's their music school, academies or universities, and other, where the answer was, I used to teach at the Glazbena škola, now I teach privately. Under the following questions, teachers could also select multiple answers, so the total number of answers exceeds the number of respondents. In Table 5, in the Czech Republic, education most often takes place in school building, a church, a concert hall, a ceremony hall, and other, with the following answers. Organ lessons are not taught at our EZUŠ, private lessons at home, culture center. In Croatia, Table 6, Organ lessons are most often taught in a school building and in a church. The next question was whether the school in which the teachers teach has a digital or pipe organ or no organ at all. Czech music schools in table 7 most often have a digital organ, a pipe organ, or they have no organ, and the lessons take place outside the school. Croatian schools in table 8 have both digital and pipe organs, or they don't have an organ. The question also includes a following optional question that teachers could answer if the answer to the first part was the school has a pipe organ. Some schools have several instruments at their disposal, each of them for the interpretation of a different style of organ literature, Italian style, French, positive Baroque, etc. Czech schools most often have instruments from the now defunded Rieger Kloss organ company from Krnov, followed by Kánský Bláchtl, Orgána Kutná Hora, Václav Smolka, František Pavel Horák, Mühlhausen, and Graf Surs, and they are usually 2 or 3 manual organ. The rest of the respondents do not remember the name of the organ company or they don't have this information. Croatia schools also most have 2 or 3 manual organs from local organ company Hefferer, followed by Eisenbart, Portativ, Graf Surs, and Rieger. During their studies, organists are not only educated in playing the instrument itself, but also in additional compository subjects. In these subjects, they learn historiographical facts about the development of the organ, a company of performance, improvise, etc. These subjects help them gain a deeper understanding of musical interpretation, methodology, and playing technique. In the semi-closed questions, Czech teachers state in table 9 that the study program includes a compulsory subject, after which they specify the subject, or that there is no compulsory subject. At school, the most common additional subjects are organ seminar, improvisation, organ history and literature, interpretation seminar, organ studies, collective interpretation, liturgical practice, and organ methodology. It is similar in Croatia in table 10, where there is an additional compulsory subjects or there is none. Other subjects include organ history, organology, improvisation, and liturgical practice. The other questions were meant to determine whether the teachers knows or use organ culture in professional teaching. In the semi-closed questions in the table 11, Czech teachers answered that they are not familiar with the Croatian organ culture. Only a few of them have knowledge of composers. They listed the following composers in their answers: Angelko Klobuchar, Julie Bajamonti, Franjo Dugan. In contrast, Croatian teachers in table 12 used Czech culture. Only one answer was negative. They listed the following composers: Petr Eben, Jan Křtitel Vaňhal, Antonín Dvořák, Bohuslav Matěj Černohorský, Josef Ferdinand Norbert Zeger, Jan Zach, Leoš Janáček, Miroslav Kabeláč, and Josef Klička. The final question of the questionnaire was whether any of the respondents had performed concerts in the other country. In table 13, Czech teachers mostly answered negatively. Only 2 of them gave concerts in Croatia, subsequently listed in Dubrovnik, Zagreb, and Sisak. Most Croatian organists in table 14 gave a positive answer, with 4 of them answering negatively. They listed the following concert places: Prague, Borovany, Písek, České Budějovice, Český Krumlov, Ostrava, and Opava. The research summarizes and compares the system of professional education at Czech and Croatian music school. The biggest difference is that after graduating from a secondary music school, conservatory, in Croatia, graduates cannot teach or perform professionally. They must continue their studies at a music academy. Another important finding is that digital organs are primarily used for teaching. This is very counterproductive given that each pipe organ is unique. In Western countries, for example Germany or France, It is common for schools to use several types of pipe organs for different organ eras. Although a digital organ can imitate the sounds of any organ and all pieces can be interpreted on it, the keys are very light compared to a mechanical organ. When organists only practice on a digital organ and then move onto a mechanical pipe organ, they often have a hard time playing pieces. They work differently with acoustic, case stroke, and other specific aspects of playing. It is most likely for this reason that lessons are not only taught at schools on a digital instrument, but also on a pipe organ in a church, where theoretical knowledge about playing can be applied. Additional compulsory subjects used in both school systems and integrate into teaching also serve this purpose. Due to the large number of musicians who emigrated to Croatia in the past, it could be assumed the Croatians would have greater knowledge of Czech organ culture than the other way around. This confirmation of one of these hypotheses of this dissertation provides further motivation to complete all the set goals and introduce Croatian organ culture into the system of professional organ education in the Czech Republic. Dear colleagues, thank you very much for your time, and I'm ready to answer any questions if you may have. Please have a nice day.